Hey guys, Wilson here with Cabinet Startup. Today's video is the 4 most effective parts of a business plan. And the reason I'm making this video is I get asked all the time, like, hey, what's the most effective business plan? How should I make my business plan? What should I do? And so if you want to start a business, but you don't want to stumble into something blindly, you're going to need a plan. You need to know what that looks like, what type of plan, what should be included, how do you know if it's good enough? And so today's video, I'm going to walk you through what we consider to be the most important parts of an effective business plan. And today we're going to talk about how to make this effectively, and trust me, generally speaking, it's not as easy as it sounds, but it's not so complicated that you can't do it. The reality is, just because something's not easy doesn't mean it can't be simple. And so let's talk about how we do that. And by the way, guys, if you want some more tips and tricks on how to start a business, especially in the trades, make sure to like or subscribe to this channel. And so the first thing that you want to look for in an effective business plan is it needs to be simple. No matter how complex you've made everything up to this point, your final business plan needs to be something simple. I mean, Einstein once said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And here's the reality. If you don't understand your business well enough to explain it simply, you're going to have a hell of a time running it. It's going to be damn near impossible, right? You should know from a high level, like a quick, dirty, simple, easy to pitch elevator pitch. Like for us, it's like, listen, cabinet refinishing is amazing because the kitchen is the centerpiece of the home. It is a premium, which means that we're able to charge high prices. It takes a high level of skill, so not everybody can compete with it. And most importantly, it saves the homeowner money while giving them the exact look they want. And so that's why it's a wonderful business, right? We know it's got high margins. It's really simple to explain. Or the other side, people are like, well, what do you do with cabinet refinishing? Like, I find somebody that wants brand new cabinets. I give them the look of brand new cabinets, and I'm able to do it in half the time and for a third of the price of competitors. Pretty good business model, right? Simple, straightforward, to the point, because we know it really well. So you need to have a business plan that enables you to be able to explain your business simply. You don't need a 100-page business plan. You need something that's going to be quick, effective, and give you everything, right? The second thing is it needs to be goal-oriented. Okay, so yeah, I go in and I save people. I can get them the look that they want at a third of the price, and I can do it in half the time. I can do it environmentally safe materials. That's awesome. And it's like, okay, so that's what I'm doing in my business plan, but what are the actual goals? Where do I want to take this business? And so for me, if I was starting in this business, simply I'd be like, all right, well, my goal is to bring in $16,000 a month in revenue. And I want to be able to do that with a minimum of a 50% profit margin. That's what I'd be looking for in this business. And so I would say, hey, those are my goals. I want to be able to do that by myself without any employees. But your business plan needs to include a section for that so you can determine what are the things that are really important for you and how do you actually get that? How do you actually map that out? How are you going to get there? Number 1, needs to be simple. Number 2, needs to have goals. Number 3, it needs to outline your revenue model, okay? And it needs to do this quickly, effectively, and most importantly, verifiably. And this is something that is incredibly important for me. And actually, I want to take a step further, not just your revenue model, your profit model. Revenue models piss me off. And this is something we deal with all the time, right? A lot of people find us on Cabinet Startup through the internet, whether it's through YouTube or whether through our advertising. And one of the things that we see is we talk to guys that have been looking into things sometimes like drop shipping. I love to pick on drop shipping. I have a drop shipping store. One of the reasons I love picking on drop shipping is because most people, like when you see the ad for drop shipping, they're like, how I made $100,000 in 6 weeks from my house in my underwear without changing my clothes once. It's always this obnoxious thing. This is a great time for a story. So I know someone, one of their family members has a drop shipping coaching business. And this guy literally promotes how his store makes, over $1 million. And his store may have done $1 million in sales, but this dude's running like a 5% profit margin. And that's before, you account for all the flashy stuff that he's buying to look successful. This dude is flat broke. His girlfriend paid for his car because the $1 million is revenue, and revenue doesn't mean shit. And I'll say it again. I'll say it one time. I'll say it 1,000,000 times. Revenue does not mean shit. What matters is profit. So you need a clear, verifiable revenue model with a clear, verifiable profit model to follow. So that means how much is it going to cost for client acquisition, right? How much is it going to cost for delivery? What's it going to cost to fund the business? What are your incidentals? What are your overhead expenses? What are all the little pieces that are going to come out of that? And then can you verify that? Can you call up a local sourcing company and say, hey, does this cost this much? Is that true? Yes or no? And this is something that I get fired up about because it really drives me crazy how many people want to start a business, and when you actually break down the numbers, they have no idea what they're getting into, or it's based on these crazy, like, let's take our best case scenario for profits and let's take our best case scenario for expenses, and then let's make that the model we're going for, as opposed to doing the intelligent way, which is saying, okay, well, what's our range? Okay, well, if we were on the low end of our range in terms of what we're bringing in, and we're on the high end of the range in terms of our expenses, is this a business model I would still want to participate in? You need to have something that's simple, something that's goal-oriented, and something that has a verifiable revenue model and profit model. And then the last piece that's effective for a business model is one that you will actually do. I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to that want to start a business. They've looked at it. They absolutely know that these business plans and models exist out there, but they open it up and it's 40 pages and they don't ever fill it out, right? Or they realize how much work they're going to have to do to figure out what the best one is, and they, kind of set to the side, go, oh, well, if the business model makes sense, I'll get it. And this is something that's really important, guys. If you're being lazy with determining the business plan, how in the hell are you expecting to be effective in running the business, right? And if you find yourself being lazy in something like the business plan, that should be your red flag. You should go, hey, you know what? Maybe entrepreneurship's not right for me, right? Or that can be the wake-up call where you go, wow, I am being lazy about this. Let me apply the same level of resolution with my business plan that I'm going to apply with my business, right? Doing the work, right? When you land the job and you're like, yeah, awesome. When the money comes in, those parts of the business are easy. But it is the stuff that's not easy. It's the stuff that is a little bit more banal, a little bit more tedious, that actually more often than not impacts the success of the business. So it needs to be one you're going to actually do. And as a bonus for anybody watching this video, in the links below, we have a one-page business plan that's super effective, and we've taken the time to record in that business plan exactly how we mapped it out and how we did it for our own business, so that you guys can follow along and do it either for, if you're considering cabinet refinishing, you can do it with us. Or if you're looking at another business, you can follow that same process, because the logic and the steps and the systems are going to work in any business. And that's one of the things that you guys are going to see throughout our channel. It doesn't matter, within the trades, we've helped people outside cabinet refinishing because these systems are what make the business work. And if you can do systems in one business, you can do systems in another business. There's going to be a few things that change here and there, but you can use this model that we're going to provide for you in the link in any business that you choose. So I hope you guys have found this really, really helpful. Go check out our next video on how to actually do that plan, or we've got another one coming up on how to actually start your business. So be on the lookout for that, and we'll see you guys next time. If you found this helpful, make sure to like or subscribe. Thanks.